Scott, I'll start with you. How does it feel to be back in the Wallabies side?
Yeah, pretty excited. It was good vibes coming back into camp and seeing everyone ready to rip in. You feed off that a lot, and yeah, it's been a great week.
How's the body? Everything fit and healthy, ready to go?
Yeah, feeling old, mate. 30 now, so don't recover as quick as I did when I was 21. But no, it's all good. Ready to rock and roll, and yeah, as I said before, excited for the weekend.
Coming off the bench with Dave and Taniela as well as that front row unit, what are you three looking to bring to the field when you do come on?
I'll just add impact for whatever time we get and just nail our role. We have obviously specific roles in our positions there, and yeah, I guess just make sure we add value to the team when we're on.
And you had the big announcement last week about the next step in your career. How excited are you to head over to the UK?
I don't know if it's that big, but no, it's cool. It's nice to have that sort of settled. Give yourself a lot of clarity heading into the rest of the year on that front, and just allow yourself to just focus on footy and doing the best for your country.
How close were you to staying in Australia?
I mean, it's always a tough decision to leave, but as I talked about before, I guess my growth as a player and a person was in a different environment, and I'm fortunate enough that Exeter have given me an opportunity to do that.
Did you think by going that potentially your chances in a Wallabies jersey might be up?
Oh, I don't think you can think that way. I think you just got to be excited about what's to come with a new challenge and a new environment. Those things aren't really in your control in terms of selection. You've just got to keep playing well wherever you are. And being selected for the Wallabies is a product of doing well for your club. So that's what I always intend to do, is just do the best I can wherever I am, and if opportunities arise, I'll be ready to take it.
The opportunity ahead of you this week, the Box have obviously got some pretty strong front rowers, both starting and on the bench. Like, how exciting is that challenge for you?
I mean, it's always a big challenge when you're playing against the world champs. They've been very consistent now for a number of years, and they just coming off the back of a great 2 weeks against the All Blacks. Great battles there. So we know what we're in store for. A lot of physicality, a lot of big bodies. So yeah, we'll be ready for it.
G'day, Matt. The line-out battle is obviously going to be key and crucial, particularly against guys like Etzebeth. But Rory Arnold and yourself haven't played together for a little while, and we all noticed Rory wasn't necessarily given too many opportunities to jump against Argentina. Was that something that was necessarily planned a couple of weeks ago against Argentina, or do you think it'll be more varied this time?
No, that's never something that's really planned. He's the tallest man in the team. Probably someone you want to use, but I think Das, the caller at the time, probably saw some opportunities where the defence was weak and used those opportunities. So I think I'm not Das. I don't know what was going on at the time. So not saying we're going to throw to him a lot this week either. I've got to keep a few cards up my sleeve, but yeah. Don't know.
Anytime you come up against the Box, though, it's always one up front. What are the kind of the messages been this week from the coaches around that, and what has Laurie Fisher added to the group?
Yeah, they're obviously got a really world-class set piece. They're the world champs. You really have to nullify their big lads up front to have any chance of going on to win the game. In terms of the Lord, Laurie, he's been awesome. It's the first time I've worked with him. Scotty's obviously worked with him at the Brumbies, but he's been full on since day one, hasn't skipped a beat. What he's brought on in terms of his meetings and his instruction on the field has been really clear and concise, and I've been really impressed with him so far. So I think he might get some good results from the boys.
Scotty, are you able to add a little bit about Laurie? Obviously, you know him so well. What do you think he'll like? A lot of people will probably scratch their head about why Laurie Fisher hasn't been involved with the Wallabies previously. What do you think he'll add?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the timing is right at the moment, and he's one of the most detailed coaches I've ever played with. I guess he just prepares us for any scenario. Just make sure he covers all all ground, and then gives us the confidence to be able to make that decision on the field, no matter what comes up. I know that we're ready, we've done the work, and as players, we just got to make those reads for the 80 minutes.
So just looking at this Wallabies sort of start of this season, I think the starts have been one of the kind of big issues. I was just wondering, when you're kind of going through detailed meetings, how sort of big of a focus is it to make sure you're starting strong this week? Just for either guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's always important, isn't it? The first 20 minutes to sort of put your foothold on the game there and really stamp a bit of dominance. So we understand where we sit in terms of that, and we're making the necessary adjustments there. Understand that there are things that are not going to just happen for us straight away, but we need to keep consistent in what we do, and hopefully the results will follow there.
I guess I think it's Australia. I think in the last 9 years have sort of beaten. South Africa haven't beaten Australia in the last 9 years. Just wondering, from a player's perspective, is it something that they kind of throw up that complements how you like to play, or is it something you kind of see that kind of is maybe more effective against South Africa than other teams?
No, I wouldn't say that. As I said before, they're the world champs, so we've got to be on our best game, best performance to be able to put ourselves in with a chance of winning this match. So I wouldn't say we've spoken about that at all. We've prepared as well as we can, and we're going to put our best foot forward on the field come Saturday.
Question for both of you guys. Dave Rennie spoke about earning respect every day. What does that actually look like on the field on Saturday? How will you earn that respect?
I guess, it's a combative sport, isn't it, rugby? So it requires a lot of physicality up front, and a lot of smarts. So, we understand that, playing against South Africa is quite a physical battle there, but, we've got to be smart on top of that as well. It's you can't just keep sort of banging down on the door and expect it to fall down all the time. You've got to be creative in ways there as well. So I guess early on for us, when we talked about starting the game well there, is, getting a sort of feel for that, and then sort of just making the necessary adjustments as we go.
This is a question for either of you, but a player like Malcolm Marks, I think he's had more than double the number of turnovers than any other player in the competition. Obviously has some big carries, and that is he a player that you've particularly kind of identified that you need to really nullify?
Yeah, we've spoken about Malcolm a little bit, but probably more the breakdown globally of how we need to treat our physicality and our arrival time at the breakdown come this weekend. We have touched on Malcolm. He's obviously a world-class player, and he's been in some really good form. But we've probably got to, they've got threats all across the park. When it's not just Malcolm we're looking at the breakdown as a whole.
And for you, Matt, missing that last game, I think Dave said that it sort of was a bit of a freshen up. Did you, how was it to sit there? It must have been pretty hard to watch, given, obviously you've been part of the team through the year and beyond, but you know what I mean? How was that for you?
It was tough to watch the boys not get the result that we wanted on the field, but we've got a whole squad here of very talented players, and we've got to use that whole squad. Some people have to miss out sometimes, and that was my turn in Argentina. Not saying I enjoyed it. I was obviously, I want to play every test. We all want to play every test, but someone has to miss out, and unfortunately, that for myself, that was my time. I wish I could have been out there to help the boys, but I wasn't. So, hopefully this week I'll be able to execute my role for the team and help get a result.